from my point of view, it's an overlooked key for affirmation in the words that we call of consecration. It ends with "do this in memory of me." Okay, that comes out of Paul's account of the Eucharist. So this is my body, this is my blood given for you, poured out for you. And then the last words are, "do this." Well, what's that mean? Am I supposed to give my body, give my blood in that sacrificial sense? Or are we to do what Jesus was symbolically doing in that account, which starts with the washing of feet, and then the sharing of bread and the sharing of wine? And it's symbolic of the giving of himself to us, which he did through his whole ministry. I mean, he wasn't going around slaughtering animals in synagogues, or down at the temple. He rarely was down at the temple. Right. So the doing is to do what Jesus did with his life. And he said, do these things, do this symbolic ritual in memory of me. Okay? So he wants us to remember the kind of sacrificial giving of himself that he was for us. And so the role of the Mass, in many respects, when we get to the liturgy of the Eucharist, now the liturgy of the Word is all, we're listening to God. We're listening to God. And then we thank God for talking to us, and sending the Word to be with us and to show us how to be, by the example of Jesus. But we can forget that because we're wrapped up in other stuff, And one of the things that I think Vatican II did is it really resurrected the Bible for us. It was there. I grew up, we had a Bible in the house. We had in our early grades in school, we had the children's stories, the little stories. But then at Mass, it was nothing but Matthew and Paul. So you didn't get the fullness and very little from the Old Testament. So we didn't get this sense of how God is working and then how God was working in Jesus. And I think, the focus came to be Jesus dying on the cross, and that's what we were trying to remember and feel sorry for him and, all that sort of thing that I think affects us there. Whereas the different dynamic is, I've given you an example and I want you to follow that example. And I want you to wash people's feet. I want you to love others. I want you to heal others, and I want you to remember how I've conducted myself, and you do that, Thank God that I was able to be with you, but make sure you're picking it up and you're doing that. And then, of course, at the end of the Mass, it's go, do it.
Right. It's life-giving. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think that from my point of view, and that notion of anamnesis is to remember Jesus, that we need to keep it very much in mind, that it's almost a constant sense of who we are to be in Christ. So we're to be like Christ. But we need reminders